Hello, my name is OperaKennyTV, as you've known, and I'm here again on your favorite show, my show and your view. That show that you enjoy, that I bring people of great minds to discuss a series of topics that are trending, ranging from politics to life, to career, to migration, to travel. I've done some episodes. If you recall my last episode, I brought someone from Slovakia who took us through our journey coming to England from Slovakia. Today, on your favorite show, I'm here with two great minds. These are men of timber and caliber. They find time for me in their busy schedule to discuss one of the topics that is global, that is trending globally now, politics. We've had series of protests in Nigeria, in Bangladesh, even in the United Kingdom. So we are just here to rub minds together on what could be the reason that is causing this government issue in some countries under development, and what could be the possible way forward that may bring the government back to the people like it should be. So we introduce them. They will on their video, and I will put them on the hotspot. I've had some questions here that you've asked me based on the survey that I did. That I should ask them on the topic, which I will ask them as we continue the show. So like I always say, just find something that will keep your company, find popcorn, find Coke, and enjoy the show. So my first guest today is an old-time colleagues. They are actually both colleagues of mine, senior colleagues. They are friends and brothers. Let me bring in Mr. Muizz Badmus. Some people call him Eda. Eda, if you can on your video, just say hi to my audience. Just tell us a little bit about yourself. You can on your video. Yeah. Hello.
Good evening, viewers and listeners. Like Kenny mentioned, my name is Muizz Badmus. My background is in fast-moving consumer goods. Work in different companies, and yes, and I think I'm also a good governance advocate, and I think that's why Kenny has invited me to this to this program to come and discuss governance. So it's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Muizz. I was thinking you will not mention your other background, but you mentioned it. Let me bring in the other guest, Mr. Sola. Please, on your video, say some things about yourself to my audience. It's nice seeing your face again.
Oh yeah, nice seeing you guys. As you have said, we are former colleagues. Thank God that technology brought us together again. And the situation in the country, all over the world, not even the country again. So because the whole world is bleeding. So my name is Sola. I've worked in with these lovely guys. We worked together in Procter & Gamble. Briefly moved to oil and gas before I landed back in production again. So that's about me. So I may be a critical, like I won't say opposition, but I'm a Nigerian that wants the best for the country. So I may be a bit critical. So prepare your mind about me always supporting some of the policy. It's not that I deliberately choose to be on the critical side, but that's just for the good of our country. And I believe it's the same thing with my friend, Mr. Muizz. So nice having you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Everybody wants the best. Everybody wants good governance, even those that are supporting and those that are protesting against the protest. So we all want good governance. So you may see me taking my eyes off. It's not as if I'm distracted. I'm looking at my screen here to pick up some of the questions that people have asked me to ask both of you. So I will start from Mr. Muizz. If you see the topic I sent to you guys that I said we'll be discussing is Nigeria or Nigerians. So I've been thinking in my quiet space, what really is the problem? And we are not just going to be talking about Nigeria, we are going to be talking about some other countries as well. So for Nigerians specifically, what really is the problem? Is it Nigeria as a country or Nigerians? And Nigerians encapsulate the people in the governance and the people that they are governing. So is it Nigerian or the Nigerians?
So first of all, there will be no Nigeria without the Nigerians. So in this context now, of course, Nigeria might be the issue, but then who are now the issues in Nigeria? At the end of the day, we are all Nigerians, and most times, of course, we all want the better for our country. Then, on my own part, I would say it's Nigerians, because at the end of the day, it's a Nigerian that is the president, it's a Nigerian that is a governor, it's a Nigerian that is a councillor. Then, so I'll put this on Nigerians, and I'll just put it like I've mentioned to a few people who are close to me. It's about our value systems. Our value systems has been corroded and decay. So it starts from a minor decay to where we now found ourselves. For instance, let me just give you just an instance to show you that our value system has corroded. Growing up, on a lighter note, when I know my brothers will send me to meet their girlfriend, they are so they don't want the mother girlfriend to see them. Like they don't want to, so I go stylishly to go and call the lady for my brother. But in our current situation, it's even the mother or the parent that is even asking after the boyfriend of the lady. So you can see that transition. And then by the time you go into each sphere of our life, governance, even at work, our family, our relationship, you see that these value systems now has decayed. In the 1960s, when we have our leaders that we revered, the Awolowos, the Azikiwes, the Ahmadu Bello, it's not that there's no corruption. There is, but then our corruption in our own case now has gone to another level. It has peaked, and I'm afraid it's still going to another level of Eldorado. I don't know how I put it. So for me, it's Nigeria, and corruption has actually deep down into our bone marrow of every facet in this country. Most people now who feels that they are not corrupt, for me, I used to say most of them don't have their own opportunity. Maybe when they have the opportunity, we'll see their real picture. I'll cite another example again. When you get to the bank, maybe you're an hierarchy person, because there's supposed to be a queue for you in the bank to queue and collect your money. But then because you are a top person and you know the bank manager, before you jump the queue, you go say, okay, manager, please, I need to. That's a form of corruption. But when you get to the filling station, there's a queue, and you just decided not to because you know somebody, you know a filling station attendant, just deciding to barge into the filling because you know somebody. That's because that's the area where you have your own opportunity. Who says if you now have a bigger opportunity, you won't use your influence?
Yeah.
So for me, I think for us to minimize corruption now, we need to work on our value systems again, which is now very eroded. Of course, governor, in all honesty, governor have not been sincere in fighting corruption. And each time to fight corruption, the system always even fights back. I'll give you an example of the system fighting back. There was a issue around ASU using TSA. And it was at that point in time that you know that TSA, maybe some lecturers are actually earning income from more than one university, and ASU said no, they are blackmailing the government that they don't want TSA. This is an evidence of even corruption fighting that. This is just an example. Of course, nevertheless, the government too. Of course, I am not here to defend the government of corruption. each time they even try to each from the few cases that we've seen that okay, they've proved this person, it's of course it's bottom line, but then you see it as maybe persecution of an opposition or persecution of a person who is not a friend of the government.
Okay,
Oftentimes.
We'll get
so
it.
for me, I think it's a problem of Nigerians, and
thank you.
Boils down to our value system.
I like the way you laid the foundation. So just picking some things from what you said, and I will now go to Mr. Sola. Someone said when people enjoy corruptions, they call it connection in Nigeria or anywhere. So when you enjoy, like you cited the example of bank, I know bank managers, so I don't need to join the queue. I know someone in a place where they are advertising for job. I may not even apply. They may give me the job. People call it connections, but they are corruptions. So, like you said, our value systems they are rotting. So, Mr. Sola, in your own perspective, who really is the problem? We always say root cause analysis. When we do the root cause analysis and the final problem statement, so should we address it to? Is it the Nigerians? Is it us? Or the people that we are putting into these political positions, the political class? Who really is the problem?
All right, thanks for having me. Actually, thank you, Mr. Muizz, for the way that you you lay the foundation. Actually, my own case is that let's start with Nigeria before we move to Nigeria. As Awolowo said, he said Nigeria is a geographical expression. You understand? If we look deeper, let's start from the beginning. Nigeria is just like a business empire for the colonial master. You understand? Which is Britain. You understand? So Nigeria is not really designed to be a country.
Wow.
Yeah. It is actually a protectorate, southern and northern protectorate, just for business, nothing more. That is what gave birth to Unilever. Maybe a time will come that we will talk more about the history of Nigeria. Nigeria is just, so Unilever is just an offshoot of the foundation of how Nigeria was. Nigeria is just a business colony. It is we that say, we must make it a country. You understand? So let's first, and Bible says something, it said, when the foundation is destroyed, what can the righteous do? So now before we move to Nigerians, the foundation is already wrong. You understand? Because these people did not agree to be together in the first place. That's the truth. Our Yoruba elders did not go to Igbo. Igbo did not go to the Hausa. That okay, guys, let's come together and form a country. We were just a business empire put together to form a business colony. You understand? So, in their own wisdom, up till now, they still see us as a business colony. It's only we that still call ourselves Nigeria. They see us, when they see us, they see the pound sterling, they see the dollar they want to make. You understand? So it's not like we're like a commodity. So until we understand this concept, that's when we realize that Nigeria, now we are Nigerians. On our passport, we are Nigerians. That's what we were made to believe. And when the value system that my friend was talking about is because the foundation to set the value system is not there. You understand? If I have a copy of Constitution on my phone, sometimes when you go through some aspects, maybe a case just happened, you just flip through. Some things do not align. You understand? So why I'm saying this is that now we are saying we are Nigerians on a foundation that is not there, which is Nigeria. So that is why we need to come together. Sometimes they did national conference, which I believe we still need to do. Or do we still really want to come together? You understand? So let's start from there. So when we have decided that okay, that's when this country will work. Otherwise, we are playing.
Okay.
Because everybody, before everybody will now, until we go back to how we should start. 1963 Constitution was good. A little, you understand? Because it made us see that okay, we are going to federation and all that. Until we go back to that, that's when Nigeria will start having this value system we are talking about. It's not from the sky, it will be from us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Muizz, do you think our political class, how will I say this? I'm in the United Kingdom. There was a protest scheduled to happen in my street yesterday, and we were all scared because, they are targeting non-Asians, blacks, Muslim. And I even went to my barber yesterday. The guy said he's going to, because he's from Pakistan, he's going to close by 3 o'clock because my street in the county where I live is predominantly Muslim, 95% Muslim and non-Asia and non-white, sorry. So, but if you see the kind of protection that this police force come with, you'd agree that at least you are valued as human being. Everybody, when we went out, and we began to feel like, okay, maybe we should not be scared in recent. And some hours to the protest, they just cut out our light. There was no light. And everybody was, maybe they are coming to our house to attack us. Even in my flat, we are the only Nigerians and we have like 6 flats. But in the twinkle of an eye, we've got a message apologizing that something happened. After like 20 minutes, we have our light back. The protest was seamless. Nobody was killed. Nothing happened, and people were they were not even protesting for bad roads, for subsidy, for pipe-borne water, for employment, for inflation rate. They're only protesting that non-white people are coming to their country to take their jobs, blah blah blah. You can see that government listen to them in some ways. In Nigeria and mostly African countries, does political class share the pain of people that they govern? Do they really? Because I like Tinubu. We all know his antecedent before he assumed that office. Okay, he built Lagos. Even if he did not build it himself, he did something that looks like he did well in Lagos. He got to that power now as a president, and it's like there's a flip. So, do they really feel the pain? Do they really know that a cup of garri is not expensive? A crate of egg is not expensive? Do they really know? Constitutionally, there should not be a position of first lady. There's not something like that in Nigerian constitution. Now we have a first lady that came out before the election, said to all of us that they are rich, they don't need our money. We have the video on the internet. She said, we are rich, we don't need Nigerians' money. These people came into office that should not exist. They apportioned 1.5 billion for fleet of cars for an office that is not constitutional. Do they really feel the pain of people that they are governed? Please, Mr. Muizz.
So, excuse me, I have cold, so don't mind my voice, please. So, I used to tell fellow friends and colleagues regarding this kind of thing. Most times, of course, we might be on different divide of politics, on different political divide. But then, I used to say it is us, the masses and individuals, versus the elites. It is us versus them. That is so. Forget that somebody is in PDP today. Forget that he's in Labour tomorrow. I've seen instances. It's because it's me and you. We don't have a say in the government. That's why we tend to argue. I have people who are in politics. I have seen an APC person giving the contract to a Labour person, to a PDP person. I've seen that. And again, now you oftentimes I used to have a cousin, right, who is an activist, and then somehow he found his way with activism into politics. Now he's a local government chairman. He's an elite. One of my brother was just calling me from Ikekwe. Oftentimes he's seeing this guy in Wasiu's party, as in where Wasiu is playing, and then so like This particular person used to be part of us. Now he has left us. He's on the other side of the divide. And then at a particular point in our politics, in our nation history, we all fell in love with Comrade Adams Oshiomhole.
Yes.
He's our freedom fighter. He's okay. He held the governor maybe during the Obasanjo. He held it hostage. No, you cannot reduce pump price. You cannot reduce this. You cannot reduce that. Now, it's the politician. The case. It's a different case now. We are not seeing things from the same prison again. We have Festus Keyamo. So
are you saying if Shuwore assume the office of president tomorrow, all those noise they are making will change?
So 3 things I still mentioned to a friend, I think a day before yesterday. He said if Peter Obi had won the election, things will have been better. And I told him 3 things. I said things could be same, could be worse, or could be better. Either of the 3.
Yeah.
You will never know until these people get to power. Until then, personally, I would have thought, and most of us, and most of the people that I know, would have thought that Buhari would have turned this nation to Eldorado against Jonathan. Some of us held that perspective.
Yeah.
But just into 1 year, the guy proved us wrong. And imagine if he had not won that election, it would have been the case of Nigeria lost his best leader.
His Messiah.
The only thing we are shouting MKO today was because he was not on the seat. Like Uncle Shola said, Nigeria is a complex nation to marry. It's a forced marriage. And by the time you get into governance, you begin to see the complexity. So that's why it's easy for Tinubu to rule a Lagos. Lagos is predominantly maybe a Yoruba. Of course, it's a melting point of state, but it's maybe predominantly Southerners or South. So you don't need, say like you all know, the state of House of Assembly, they are like puppets to our governors. You won't compare a state of House of Assembly where it's dominantly the ruling party that is in power. This current administration, I think, has maybe 38 APC members in Lagos. Okay, so how many times have we heard in state legislature that opposition members are walking out of the plenary?
Do they even have opposition?
So let's assume they have. But then, times without number, even if it won't count, you see opposition members in the National Assembly walking out. Okay, of course, we can't have our way, but let's have our say. Or how did they put that balance? Then they wake up. So for me, I think it's an elite thing. And then again, I read sometimes back. I read an opinion from Ruben Abati. Was it Ruben Abati or Doyo Kukwe, who says how these people, the president this time, they are in captive. Like they are in captive. Of course, I'll give you an example that they are in captive. Like just about okay. I think it tells you that just one CSO, a less than a colonel or a major in the army, who is your CSO, can tell you, Oga, today that bomb blast that happened in Ikeja, you cannot go. Security report says you cannot go, and that is it. But then between me and you, we will tell that this president does not have the mercy of people.
Does not have empathy.
Does not have empathy. But then it's just one, might be for good, might be for bad, might be for no reason, but it's just one person holding the president captive. That's why sometimes for them to feel the impulse, especially the president of the nation, it's a bit. So one, I read a PDP guy giving that when when Tinubu was in Lagos, it was easy for him to feel the pulse of the people. He does not rely on the cabinet. He has mechanic, chairman of NATA. He has the Aloja. He has this. He can easily reach out to them just to know what's up, to feel the pulse. That is Lagos. Now for Nigeria, will he want to do that? Yes. Can he do that? I'm sorry, maybe he cannot. This is not me giving excuses for the government. I'm only trying to check the reality. Again, now for me, I would say the airlines will always think like the airlines.
Okay.
The airlines will always think like that. So it's us. Of course, there might be differences, little empathy, little communication, little this, little that. But then, like Uncle Shola mentioned, Nigeria is a very complex nature to marry. There are so many interests. There are so many interests. We have the military interest. We have the ex-military interests. We have the business community. We have the Western power who are also trying to meddle into our political landscape.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Shola. Can Tinubu save Nigeria? If your answer to that is no, then what will be your suggestion? And if your answer to that is yes, please support that yes with why you think he can save Nigeria. Because people are saying, I know Muizz supports Tinubu, he's very vocal and is not hiding from the fact. People are saying we should give him time, that he doesn't, in fact, Tinubu said his governance, his policy is like giving birth. You enjoy the pain will be severe, but when you see your baby, you are happy. Can he fix this country? Muizz want to talk. Okay, before Mr. Shola goes.
Go ahead.
I'll let Elder Shola talk, but in terms of it's a baby pain and this, what I've seen from this government, of course, they have taken some hard steps, some hard decisions that maybe, I think from the past we've been using a populist approach to govern people, and I think they are taking the right way. But what I will not accept with is they've not led by example. They have not led by example in terms of expenditure. Like, so you are telling us we should endure some baby pains, and then you are appropriating some billions for a VP residence. You are talking about procuring a new private jet, so that. We used to have like 36 ministers, that's 36 or 37, that's what the constitution says. At times, because of politics, we said they will add one to regional, making 42 or so. By this present time, we are having 47. Saying we on our parts should endure the pains of some policies, then you should lead by example. Sorry for interjecting. I'll leave Uncle Shola to talk.
So, Uncle Shola, what do you think? Can he save the country?
Okay, as you can. I don't have any issue with Tinubu, don't know. But Yoruba has a saying, "Ẹni tí ó daṣọ ni tọrùn ẹ̀ là á kọ́ wò."
Yeah.
You cannot give what you don't have.
What do you mean?
Okay. Why Tinubu was in Lagos is quite that I hope that history should be taught in our classrooms so that we will know who we are following. You understand? That's why one of my friends, a former colleague to Ashiogo, he always said that democracy is for the educated, in the sense that for you to actually practice and make good judgment out of democracy, you must understand the policies, the politics, and everything around it. So what I'm saying that this guy cannot give what he doesn't have is that when people say that he built Lagos, I laugh. All the trademark you have seen, they had been outlined by Babaki Kere in Lagos. Jakonde. You understand? I was born in Lagos. You understand? So I knew when Jakonde was, I was growing up. You understand? When I was a baby then. But I knew some of my uncles that were working with Lagos, though they were Ekiti people, but they were working in Lagos state government. And all of them were given, houses in Jakonde estate that they paid over time. Now tell me, did Tinubu do any of that while he was governor? You understand? So when people are talking about Tinubu,
just to interject, there are a couple of housing projects that Tinubu did. We can talk outside this, but then I can share with you.
Let's allow him to.
Let me finish. You understand? When people are saying that Tinubu would transform, I said no, he will not. Tinubu is like an aristocrat. You understand? It is people around him that will enjoy him. You understand? It's not like Jakonde. It's not like Awolowo. It's not like Abiola. Abiola can be going on the streets and just see maybe a roadside bully person and just say, okay, Mama like bullying. Why not maybe get him a big oven and be supplying his company? That's who those people are. That's what they are, and that's what they could give. Tinubu cannot give this. That I'm against him, but I have looked at his antecedents. Some of my uncles that were doing business during that period, those guys were complaining so much about multi-taxation. For instance, before you bring out your container from wharf that time, you may pay like Acme. Before you get out, maybe before you reach Oshodi, you might have paid like another like 5 points. Paying one may say his own is container fee, another one will say is the goods inside fee. You understand? So along the line, you will pay and pay. Those people are really groaning, but they couldn't talk because he has the system in his hand. And that is why I was now coming now that until we have a system that is bigger than individuals. That's what I think it was Obama pointed out about Africa. He said that Africa is a country that the individuals are bigger than the system. Until the system is bigger than any individual, that is when Nigeria will work.
So that means it doesn't matter if the president had been Peter Obi or Atiku or Sowore or Moghalu. It's still the same thing.
Let me come in. It is people that will drive the system, that will govern us. You understand? America was fortunate to have the likes of Abraham Lincoln. You understand? Those people that could rewrite their history, Benjamin Franklin, and all this, to direct their path right. That is why an Agbero like Trump could not hijack the government when he wanted to. You understand? Because the system is bigger than Mr. Trump. You understand? So when the system is big, everybody will queue behind that system. But when individuals are bigger than the system, you will dictate to favor you all the time. And that is what is happening. And it is people that will drive it. That is why for Tinubu to be my fan, for instance, he must first abolish this constitution. Let's go, maybe copy and paste that of 1963. So that the regions will be stronger. So that we will start practicing. This is not the kind of democracy bring practice. It's like, thank God you are in UK. It's like the money made by Scotland government. You understand? Scotland, is a pseudo of United Kingdom.
Yeah.
So they have oil. So they now produce oil. They take all the money to London. You understand? And they just sit down and share. You understand? England is not doing jack. You understand? Wales is not doing anything. Northern Ireland is not doing anything. And you just want to be collecting money. So that's the system I'm talking about. That's the system that is not working. It's the system that encourages docility, that people can just not work and be expecting to earn. And that's what we are having. So Egbegbemu Obigon cannot do it. The reason why I'm saying this is this. But the only reason why Obi may be different is that he may want to initiate a system that everybody will queue behind. You understand? And that is why Tinubu does not have that willpower. Until he has that willpower, believe you me, I will vote him the next election. I'll forget about his antecedents that I don't like. I'm not a saint, but what I'm saying is that if he could start, let's first review this constitution. Let it make it a template that everybody will queue behind. That region go back and be working for Nigeria. Otherwise, this country will crash. Let me give space.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Muizz, one would say, but Tinubu cannot do it alone. He's just the president. It's like a secondary school. We have principal. In some school, we even have vice principal academics, vice principal administration, and we have teachers. We have HODs in universities. We have dean. Tinubu cannot do it alone. But someone may also say, but people taunt him as a talent finder, that Tinubu is the best at finding the right talent. What will you say about his cabinet? There has been a lot of criticism that it's just Jack and Harry that fill this cabinet. People that doesn't even know what is this. There are some ministers that we've not even heard of their names since the last time they went to National Assembly. And they are still ministers. They are still enjoying our resources, our commonwealth, and we are blaming Tinubu. Should we really blame him? Or we should also blame those guys? I don't want to go to the governors yet. Let's talk about his cabinet. Did Tinubu really find the top talent for those spots? And do we really need 47 or 46 ministers in Nigeria?
So, just to answer that question in utmost fairness, at the end of the day, the buck stops at the president. He was the one who appointed these people. So again, and I think that cabinet, in my own opinion, is for political settlements. And I think he also took a template from our former president Olusegun Obasanjo. If you have time, you can go and research into who and who were Obasanjo's cabinet member in his first tenure. So there was a particular what's this guy naming Adamu Siroma, has been in governance since 1963, 60, so. He was former CBN governor. I would tell you that maybe just 1 year or a year and a half into this guy, into Obasanjo's first term, this guy fell sick, and he wasn't replaced. He used that tenure finished, and this guy was quoted on like live television there that Obasanjo cannot remove him
on a sick bed.
That wasn't there that no, he cannot remove me. Yeah. Wow. So because he's a critical stakeholder and he's from the north. I think he's from Kano. Danjuma was Obasanjo's ally then before they fell apart. Tony Aleni used to be NRC's chairman. Yeah. So by the time you go and look at that list and then compare those lists with Obasanjo's second coming, when he knew that he has nothing to lose, then you have Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, you have Ambassador Olu Adeniji, you have El-Rufai as a minister, then you have the likes of Ribadu. So again, by the time you go and compare Obasanjo first time Federal Executive Council to his second time, you would have known that first time was just a compensation list. And I think maybe I can only imagine, because I'm not in his shoes. I want to believe that's the template the current president is also using. Maybe a year and a half, and we just like, okay, maybe I've told you to come and chop, and you fit in. Can you pave way? Can you pave way for maybe technocrats? Even so, for me, it can even be the politician, because most cases so if I go to politics, if I go into politics today, people will call me politician, not forgetting that I have my own background too before I came to join politics. So that's why I always advise people, okay, politicians too, they are something before they ventured into politics. So that's just my okay, this particular set of people, they are just for compensation for the role they played in the president. By the time you look them, they are either former governors, former senators, former.
And I can give you one. The former governor of my state in Osun State, Oyetola, what has that guy done as a minister? What interview has he granted? I've never seen him. So I only see him in fake meetings.
So I think, you know, and I think that's his style of government. I'm not speaking for him. I think he's not the communicating type. I'm not saying he's doing well. There are a couple of things that I've read, but even as a governor, and I think that's why he even lost his. He isn't as bad as people portray him to be. But then you won't compare Oyetola, even as much that we could not even feel the impact of Rauf when he was Minister of Interior. You can see that he was very vocal.
Yeah.
You can see him everywhere. So for me, again, I think the issue, like Oyetola, is for me, it's communication. I think I've written some stuff about communication here, and oftentimes, not only him, our politicians, most times, the only time they try to communicate with us is the campaign and election season. Like normally, we all work. We work and then maybe every month when we are in P&D, we do what we call I&D, information and deployments. This is what we've done. This is what we've done. Where I work currently, we do town hall, monthly, quarterly town hall. Okay, this is our scorecard. This is where we are. We are not there. This is what we need to do. I bet you, how many people, how many governors, or how many before Buhari could address, could do a scripted interview that they sent him question. He did that in the second term, which is very bad. At times, these guys are working in the background. I'm not defending. At times they're working in the background, but you don't see they're working. They don't come out to communicate.
Yeah.
So for me now, I think so. Like just to round up, it's for me. I think it's the current set of ministers. It's more of compensational. But even the one who thought
working,
who thought should be square peg in square hole. If you don't know, I think I've forgotten, but it's like when I did the conversion, the dollar was not even there. It's the current minister for health. He left a job that will pay more than like 800 million per year to come and be Minister of Health. Came highly recommended. He was a Minister for State for Health during Jonathan's era. He has done some work, and people vouch for him. Again, he might be doing something, but I haven't seen. I have not seen. So again, also those are the third person who say, okay, is the right square peg in square hole. Again, governance in Nigeria, again, we humble you. I was saying at this kind of time when Bosu Tijani was on the opposition, was like an influencer. He has everything to fix school. He was calling Patami just a Cisco engineer who doesn't know what he's doing.
Now
today, let's see. So again, I think Nigeria is complex. Even at times when you have to do the right thing, when you have the will and zeal to do right, the system will fight back. The civil servants will even work against you. Just look at, imagine a minister, Umahi, who sends people out before because they came late and so, and they blackmailed him to the extent that he came back to apologize. That's how pathetic our situation is. Okay, but in summary, I think the list is a conversational list.
Yeah, in as much as I want and people want to agree that Nigeria is a complex country, but we cannot be hiding under that fact. They asked for this job. Tinubu asked for this job. He said he did.
Yes, and I'm not pitying him. I'm not pitying him. I'm not pitying him.
He said he will kick the ground running the first day, and the first day he gave the country something that they are still feeling till today. So, Mr. Sola, what will you say about the cabinet? Would you agree that some people in that cabinet should be fired? And even if you would mention maybe 3 people that you can think are really square peg in square hole, like Muizz said, who would that be in those cabinets? And do you think some should be fired? Some should not even be representing the governance at all?
Okay, thank you. My own take is that as Muizz has rightly said, they treat governance like family affair. And Yoruba has this thing that when you are treating a saw and you are saying is our saw, is our wound, you will use it to cross over your food, your meal. So that's the literal meaning. They treated governance with levity. That's what even killed him in the beginning. You know that he made a confession that subsidy gun was never written down. You understand? This made me remember the case of Icarus. Icarus is a Greek mythology. You understand? That is like Bashiman Palo, the way we say our folk tales. So it's a Greek mythology that Icarus was arrested. So that he was arrested for revealing a secret and all that. So, but he was with Daedalus. Daedalus is a craftsman. So he now made a wing for him with feather and use what's it called to patch it. He used wax, like all this candle wax, to patch it. But he warned him that don't go too high, so that the sun will not melt the wax. Don't go too low, so that the feather will not touch the because it's around the riverine area, so that it won't touch the feather will not touch water, and you won't feel it down and fall into the water. But out of ecstasy, out of euphoria, Icarus flew towards the sun, and it landed terribly inside the ocean. What I'm saying is this: Emilokan was the Nigeria Icarus. Understand? The moment he got that mantle, he flew too high to the sun. And in my Oyo parlance, when they tell you that Emma Awole as a part of greeting, it's not that you are blind. They are not referring to you as blind, that you can't see the ground. But what they are telling you is that know our culture here. Malobe. You understand? Walk gently, so that you will not walk into Ngogongo, the new song now. And walk into it. You understand? So this is what Emilokan did on the first day and got it totally wrong from the spot on. So now let's discuss the cabinet. Apart from Bumi Ojo, I don't know where I got that guy, but that guy is the best.
But you also have some scandals that was flagged some months ago. I don't know how he was able to silence it. That he also got a contract, his wife, blah blah blah.
As Muizz has said, the system will always fight you back. That's the truth. The system will always fight you back. Maybe the guy that didn't get the right contract, he will find a way to blackmail you. And maybe he has all these Agbero journalists too that were able to launch the propaganda. You understand? So the system, but in all honesty, you are in UK. If you want to go, my friend left here, went to Dublin. He left on Tuesday to do his passport. On Friday, I'm saying Friday, he got his passport renewal on Friday, delivered to his home. You understand? So what I'm saying is this: is that if a system is working, you don't have to argue. But apart from that guy, the rest should be fired.
The rest, like 40 plus.
It should be fired. None should remain, including that Candy B. What's in the name?
Even is it the Dialake or what's it called?
Bro, all of them should be fired because these guys are practically doing nothing. If they are doing it, we're not saying it. And I said it with somebody, and this is where I said Constitution must find a way to accommodate some new things. In the sense that, how will you make a banker minister of power? You understand? So, and then while I was in Nigeria working with oil servicing firm, there was one man said, "Guy, I like the way you're working. Why not why not go for NSC, Korean and registered?" I just pointed out something to him. I said, when last was a Korean registered engineer minister of power in Nigeria, or minister of aviation, or minister of works? The man just said, come on, we'll turn you. You understand? So the truth is this: the system has been so bastardized that you just put anyhow people in a sensitive environment. Imagine putting me, an engineer by profession, to go and be CBN governor. How will your economy look like? It will crash. The first week it will crash. So this what I'm saying is that sensitive posts, get the right people there. They are littered everywhere abroad. They are littered everywhere in Nigeria. Bring those brains in. With Okonjo-Iweala's case, Nigeria was forgiven $16 billion because of our influence, of our capability. You understand? So that is what it means, getting the right brain to do the right thing. So Emilokon should fire all of them and leave only that Bumi Ojo and get others again. Nigeria is in dire need of capable hands, not politics. Enough of politics. We need right people to do the right things now. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so I have limited time left.
Just an input to what Sola said. I can come back with evidence again, just for record purpose. The so-called, I'm not saying they should not hire rise so. The so-called technocrats and expatriates from US, from UK, from at times we have bundle of them littered with corruption cases. I'll give an example. I've forgotten the name. There was this lady from Canada that came to serve in Jonathan's administration with good CV and good everything. Does that. At the end of the day, ended up embezzling money into tens of billion. The Zani is at our backyard here. We know how it ended. So those are not even so. Sambo Dasuki is a retired colonel. They retired this one. He was a square peg in the world by being a national security advisor, we know how it ended. And then again, I could come back with some other people again who have not say. Of course, there are some agencies you don't have choice. You have to put a person with the background in that place. Of course, the former CBN deputy governor was a mechanical engineer by profession, by academics, but then
By practice,
by practice is a banker. Working
I asked some of my guys that were even good guys while we were in school, but they left for banking. Will I now still call that guy an engineer? No.
No.
So you're still not getting my point. That's just by the way. There are some key ministries. Of course, I won't put a person who does not have vast experience of the economy and finance.
Our current minister of finance and coordinating the economy, or is it blue or green economy? Is that a round peg in a round hole? No, he is. You can at your leisure time check his profile and check. We can discuss and I think again in terms of economy, there are always two divides to it. Because the economy is failing.
Just hold on. There are two divides to the economy. There is the fiscal side, and there's monetary side. As much as possible, Uncle Shola can differ with me. Cardi B, as he has called him, has done everything within his own monetary purview. I can list so many things he has done. Maybe because you are not privy to them. I can list so many.
Why are they not working?
At the end of the day, the truth is, at the end of the day, you need the monetary, you need the fiscal side. You need to export. You need all these things to bring out pressure.
Why are they not thinking this way, Muizz? Don't they know that monetary and physical need to work for the economy to survive? Why are they not thinking this way if they have such experience?
Can I say something? One thing is that it's like this government is like getting a very good template from IMF and World Bank and coming without testing, doing a visibility study and coming. That's why I use that word Emma Wole by our Oyo people. You don't just roll out policy. You first do a feasibility study. You assess your risk. We all did this while we were in P&G. We will assess the risk before we do a task that is not a routine task. You understand? You will first assess the risk. But unfortunately, they didn't do this. Cardozo may be a brilliant guy. It's different. Street smartness is different from Buko. When you know the streets, you will be able to adapt any template to your standard. You don't just bring in IMF standard because you want to borrow money and just dump it on us. It won't work. And that is where they are getting it wrong. So that is why I will tell us this. And it still boils down to having your own system. When you don't have your system, any other system will be enticing to you. And that is what we are facing now. That is our pain now.
Okay.
That's what I was.
I have limited time on the show and I still want to tap your knowledge on some questions. Now, let's talk about way forward. Mr. Shola, should we give Tinubu more time? Like him and his cabinet are asking that, okay, a year is too early for all these policies to come into realization, to mature. Now, even if we don't give him more time, what options do we have? Because things are very expensive. I like it that there's policy, there's a lot of talks about the policy. But food inflation is over 40%. We should not even talk about unemployment because it has always been. See the price of things. When I call people in Nigeria, I always ask how they are surviving. I spoke with a friend yesterday. He got a Lexus 350, like a common Lexus, not 350, 300, common Lexus. Before I left Nigeria, maybe 1.2 million. The guy was saying that if someone is getting that car now, it's about 6 million. In fact, if you are going to get a good car in Nigeria now, you have to have like 8 million. Keke Napep, higher purchase, not the new one. Used is like, I don't want to. So, if all these policies are working, why are people protesting? Should we give him more time and wait for 3 years more before maybe by next year we start seeing things going down, dollar will start coming down? In as much as we are happy, people that are in diaspora, their pants is on the high side. But we also remember that we have parents, friends, colleagues in Nigeria, and things are not getting better. So what would be your advice in speaking of way forward? Should we give him more time? Will this policy eventually come to light and favor the Nigerians?
Okay, let me quickly comment. There's a saying that when somebody that wants to be mad has used 10 years to do the rehearsal of that madness, when will he even get to the market square?
But 1 year is like 25% of his first tenure, Mr.
Shola. Calm down, sir. Guys, this is the propaganda they are pushing to us. APC government has been in government for 9 years. That's why I use that adage.
Not Tinubu.
You understand? Oga, the tea house is guys in the cabinet of Buhari. He is the party leader. Crying out loud. He has always been supporting all the policies of Bubu. You understand? So what I'm saying is this, is that these are just political propaganda to extend time forever. Bro, that's how we were patient with Buhari. 4 years ago, we say, next time he will do better. Bro, after 4 years, the last 4 years was even worse. The first one was even better. And that is why I will say that if you like, give them time till tomorrow. With what the trend we have seen, nothing will change. If you are, as my friend Muizz has said, he said that these people, you can't be borrowing and be living like a prodigal son. You should be frugal with what you borrow. How will you spend 8 billion in 3 months? Besides, it's 8.6 billion in 3 months for travel. Are you going to the moon with, going to the Mars with Elon Musk?
You are looking for FDI.
Bro, yeah,
that's what they said. They are looking for foreign investment.
Bro,
maybe it's worth it.
There is a way that a lady will be fine. His suitors will be coming in droves to her house. So what I'm saying is that make your house beautiful, make it enticing, and see investors coming. They will be on their knees. And using 8.6 billion, I just saw the speech by the special advisor on this Abino guy, his special guy on media. What he was saying, I don't know his name. Sorry for calling Abino, but
jury something.
Jury. Yeah. I saw his speech saying that they have to call down, and even the house of First Lady, they have to reduce the entourage. I said, it's like legalizing illegality and spending money for that illegality. There is nothing like office of First Lady in the first place, and you are spending money for that nonsense. So this is what we're saying is that people should understand some things. Is that giving them time will not result in anything. Ọmọ tí ó ga kékeré, àwọn ni ọmọ tí ó ṣàṣàmú kékeré ló ti ń ṣẹnu ṣámṣám. Ọmọ tí ó ga ẹsẹ̀ àtínrín.
So what should we do? What should we do if we are not giving them time? What options do we have?
No problem. At least we have endured them for the last 9 years. Let's endure for the next 3 years.
Okay.
That's all I will say. Because these people are not ready. That's the truth. They are not ready. Now, they are saying palliative. You are doing palliative the same way Buhari was doing it, and we are not feeling it. And you expect a change. You are pumping money to governors that they have a pedigree of not giving the money to people involved. The same way Buhari was doing. So it shows that you are not ready for a change. You understand? So let's endure them. Besides, I will tell those protesters it's good to protest. Limit your protest. Endure and work on yourself. Endure for the next 3 years. Make sure you send them out of that government house.
But does their vote count? Even if we are waiting for 2027, this protester will tell you their votes don't count.
You can only reach where you have majority. You understand? You cannot go. Okay, now, why did APC now win in Southeast? Why didn't they rig there?
Maybe Labour Party rigged more because they said all political party rigs.
Anyhow, what I'm saying now is this: is that you can only rig where you have influence, where you have the majority. Let people now look at the numbers and say, okay, PDP for 16 years, this is where they brought us. APC for 12 years, this is where we are. Now, we should not make a choice. Is either are we moving again with APC or we are kicking those guys out? Which I believe we should do. Or else, the only thing I'm expecting from them now is that if he wants to win, they should first sit us down, discuss Nigeria first. If we discuss as our topic says, let's first discuss Nigeria. So we will now know, maybe all of us are Nigerians, or some people are Nigerians.
Okay.
Let me
go to Mr. Muizz. I know you are a very strong supporter of this administration. Should we still give them time? Will you face, if you have the opportunity of facing those protesters today, will your word to them still be, let's give Tinubu time? He will fix it. He's a strategic thinker. He will fix Nigeria. We should endure the pain. Or what will be your message to Nigerians hearing you now?
I wouldn't tell anybody not to protest. It's everybody's fundamental human rights to protest. But then, in my own end, and thinking out aloud, I want to believe in those, and if you don't believe, people would have called the president attention. He has lost, at least he has lost popularity among even his supporters, and I believe because
has he lost you?
don't let me answer that here. So he has lost popularity even among his supporters, and because of this, and I also think he knows, and like Uncle Shola rightly mentioned, in no election is perfect, and no in politics, even in US they still have imperfect election around rigging, and there is a popular note that I used to sound: you can only rig elections where you are popular.
So that's what he said too.
So you can only rig elections where you are popular, and I think because of this, maybe 2 years again, the presidency has time to salvage this old thing back. If it is not salvaged, it is good as it will not return, and I believe he also wants to return, and he will not fold his arms and let that happen to him. So
okay.
the current status quo has not changed, he cannot rig his way to power. I believe he has known this, and yeah, definitely he will work on them first by review. Of course, I do not agree with Okshala that it's only one person that is working in the whole cabinet, of course, but then it is no fact that cabinet needs to be rejected.
So if you see Tinubu today, Muizz, what would be your first advice to him? Will you advise him to bring subsidy back, at least for people to start enjoying again, to buy rice cheap, to buy petrol cheap, to buy this cheap?
So if you are following the news, I think they've done something around food inflation, opening the border and cutting down tariffs on import rates or flour, on rice and those things. In terms of subsidy, we can argue the mode that subsidy removal happened, but we should all know that all the major candidates in the last election have said they will remove subsidy. Of course, we can now argue on the way the subsidy was removed. And again, now I used to remember Akim Adeshino, Obieze Kwesili. These people, they were on Buhari's neck that for you to have a viral economy, you need to remove subsidy and then also float the naira. Let's know the value of naira. These people made it look like once you've done those things, Nigeria will get back. I can go and find the clip for you. It's not a word of mouth that they said. It's not that newspaper reports that you need to remove subsidy. You need to remove subsidy. You need to float the naira. It is when you float the naira that will encourage investors to come. Now
it's floated.
These things have been done, and now everybody is now changing mouths.
Okay.
So again,
I say something about subsidy removal. Sorry for cutting you short, bro. What I'm saying is because of time I'm looking at. Subsidy removal should be done. That's the truth. But nobody
honestly speaking, I as a particular person, even before this admin, I am anti-subsidy. I don't want subsidy to be removed. I personally
don't want subsidy to go.
Personally, because I used to tell people, for me as a person, that's the only thing I'm enjoying from the government. I provide my own water. It will interest you if I tell you the amount of tax that I'm paying.
Yeah.
I don't want to come and brag here, but by the time I look at my tax and I make my water, the road to my house, I'm the one who grades, do this. I use my own solar generator. I pay tenement rates for not using anything. That is said. In my own personal opinion, I don't want subsidy. I used to tell you that I'm not ashamed to say it out, because as at that time, I don't go to government hospital. My kids go to private school. Why paying excessive tax? I don't enjoy anything from the government. The subsidy is only what I am enjoying,
and that's been removed.
And so that's on the personal note. But then again, they have said, and again, for me, in terms of subsidy, again, it's for me. It's for me, and I used to tell people this too. You are just rediversifying where this money is going to. You've taken the subsidy from the marketer. So the market are not getting this money again. Now you've returned it to NNPC and governors. Governors, fact now have increased. So the money that is supposed to pay subsidy has been given to governors, at least some percentage to governors. But then we are still not feeling the impacts. Yeah. So for me again, and that's you are just rediversifying where this money is. You've taken it from Paul and you gave it to Peter.
Yeah.
So personally, I am not a pro-subsidy person. So I just want to sound that news.
Mr. Shala, I know you want to talk on subsidy. I would like you to answer this with your thought on subsidy. Do you think there are political undertones to the current protest in Nigeria? We've seen news. They said there are sponsors. Even before the protest, they said they've identified sponsors of this protest. They are the political losers, people that have been defeated in the election. Now, we are even seeing in the northern part of the country people holding Russian flags. So it's now justify what this political class have been saying. We told you that there are undertones, there are people sponsoring. You can see what they are saying. They are calling for anarchy. What's your view on that? You can answer it with your thought on subsidy as well.
Okay. Subsidy. My own take on subsidy is that subsidy must go. The reason is this: is that if we look at before APC came in, they were against subsidy and all that. You understand? They said they would, but under G, Baba Go Slow started paying it before he. Yeah. So what I'm saying, why subsidy should go is this: not immediately. Understand? When you remove subsidy on petrol, have you subsidized health for people? Have you subsidized power for them? Because this at least we pay taxes where we are now. But during winter, government will pay you a certain amount for energy so that we not freeze at home.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that there is no government that doesn't pay a certain part of subsidy. However, subsidy on oil goes largely to all these thieves. That's the truth. You understand? So, but you don't just remove subsidy like that. That's what I'm saying. Is
it's the planning, not the removal.
That's it. You understand? And you kowole, as I have said earlier.
Yeah.
Kowole, kotori bashu. So that is where he got it all wrong. So the other question was it again?
I said, do you think there are political undertones to the current protest?
Oh, political undertone. Actually, APC started this political talk thing. I remember that Ojota protest. Did you see like government-sponsored protest?
During Occupy Nigeria, you mean?
Yeah, during Occupy Nigeria at Ojota 2014. Did you see any other one from government that hey, we support the government? No. Yeah. APC started this Sakamanje kind of thing. You understand? They started this. And when you are fueling this kind of thing, there are some in your caucus APC that are not happy with you. Why is the protest that strong in Kaduna? Because the likes of El-Rufai were not in your cabinet again. They are the ones that were like guiding you. But now these guys, they are now like your hack enemy now. So that's the problem. So it's because it is part of the angels that became archangels that are now demons. You understand? It is all these angels that are falling out with Lucifer that are now demons. So that is what you are experiencing with all these anti-protests and mind you, in the north, they have used a Almajiri system as a political tool for too long. So now the Almajiri small boys, they have grown up now. You understand? So they are no longer the easily controllable ones again. So they have metamorphosed into an angry adult. So, and that is what is playing out in the north. So we should face this squarely now, in the sense that people should understand that education matters. That's number one. And don't use lack of it as a political tool. Because democracy itself is for the educated, is for the enlightened. But when you are now using what should be the foundation of democracy as a political tool,
You understand? To control people. Then you will pay dearly for the outcome. And that's what is happening in the North. Because they have used lack of education as a political tool for too long. And that's what is playing out. They went to loot library, National Library. You know that they didn't bring out a single book.
So what are they looting?
He won the printer, the seat, even the roofing sheet.
Wow.
You understand? It's because, sorry, I have a call, but let me cut it. So they have used this for too long, and these people, because they are not enlightened. Sorry to say, I have some, please, all my northern friends, not that I'm using it to stereotype, but that's the truth. I've been to the north. Sorry, 1 minute. So this is what is playing out. So until people realize that democracy and education comes hand in hand, until we realize that we will not be having, nobody is about, no political undertone. It is the monsters we have bred over time that is swallowing us up now.
So it's not Atiku, it's not Peter Obi that is sponsoring the protest.
Did you see Labour Party protesting? You understand? Did you see Igbos, for instance? They distance themselves so that you will not put it on their neck. You understand? So, and that is why I'm always saying, I'm still saying this, until we discuss Nigeria. That's when we will now discuss Nigerians. We cannot discuss Nigerians until we have settled the case of Nigeria first. That's my take.
Thank you. On a final note, we cannot finish this discussion today, and I know you guys are busy. On the final note, Muizz, what would be your advice first to Tinubu's administration, to APC as a party? What would be your advice to them this night? And this is a funny question. If 2027 comes tomorrow, we used to vote for Tinubu. So just round up your final thoughts and answer that question. If tomorrow is an election day again, considering what is happening now with all the KPIs of Tinubu, all the red, everything is red, all the KPIs are red. We used to vote for him. And what would be your advice to him, to his cabinet, to people that are even representing him? You see Dai Ajuri saying one thing, you see Mr. Ononuga saying another thing. They are contradicting themselves. What will be your advice to his administration, himself, and to Nigerians? And are you still supporting him? Like I said, has he lost you?
So again, I think I've mentioned earlier, he has an election to win in 2027, and because of that, I think there will be a turnaround. First of all, there should be a change in cabinet. We have a woman affairs minister whose job we've seen is settling disputes between husband and wife, and something like that's a woman affairs minister. We have some jesters in the administration. Of course, I'm disappointed. There is Adiza Bala Usman, who is meant to be coordinate the color ministries, to coordinate intelligence among the ministries. We've not seen any of that. Any of that. I think the cabinet should be rejigged, and then even the president himself should find a way of getting informal information and not depending on the kitchen cabinet so by the time that you also knew how people again on whether I will vote the president in 2027. I used to tell people this: 24 hours is a very long time in politics. I've seen people who have said they want to go to vote a candidate, and they get to the polling booth and suddenly change their mind. For me, 24 hours, it's a long time in politics. God spare our lives more than 2027. Events will unfold, and then based on that, we'll make decisions.
All right. Mr. Shola, finally from you, what's your thoughts too? What would be your advice to him, to Nigerians, and to people that are representing him? What will you what will you say to them? What should he do now? And like you said, should we give him more time? And even if we are giving him time, have we identified the Messiah, the so-called Messiah that can save us now, that can think not the way Tinubu is thinking in 2027? On your final note.
Okay, my final note is this. Thank you. My advice to the president is simple. Can you revisit the confab of that they did, that they put heads together to put like another template of constitution for Nigeria? This one that is going to sneak and steal part of Oronsoye report. You know, it's like you don't like a soup, but you like the meat inside. You understand? So go ahead, use that comfort. If you don't have another money to establish another one, do that. Because people, the agitation against the entity called Nigeria is too much. The northern elite are now using, because they are not in power now, they are the one, you see that the rate at which they are protesting now.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's because the discussion on Nigeria has not been settled. So let's see if we will be together and on what term. I think he can do it as the president. He should let there be a referendum. Let people say, okay, we want to be in Nigeria on this basis. Now. So we should sit down and agree on this, our love affair called Nigeria, so that we will know, okay, we want to give birth in this relationship, or we want to remain celibate there. You understand? So we will agree. So that is number one. Number two is this, is that I will advise him again. Okay, that there will be a Messiah. The Messiah will not come until it is written. You get my Lord? If it is not written, there won't be a Messiah. Messiah will work based on what is written. That's why I'm still going back to that case of rewriting our constitution. We must have a Messiah that follows the system laid down. That the system is bigger than. You understand? Now, these people are bigger than the system. You understand? Until the system is now bigger than all of us, that we all take our cue from, then that is my advice. He should sit down. He still has 3 years. People saying that he should, 3 years. He's not going anywhere. You understand? He will exhaust his time. But he could, if I were him, I wouldn't even focus on second term, because his chances are slim. But he could focus on his legacy of rewriting his name. Now, the North that that are cuddling him, they now hate him passionately now. So he has a point now. Since they hate you and they are the one in support of the unitary system, now sit down and say, okay, let's discuss this our republic. And we now move there. So he still has these 3 years to do that, if he is willing. Otherwise, 3 years will be gone. He will lose next election. That's my word. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. What a day, what a discussion. Thank you so much, Mr. Sola.
So just to mention a notion.
Okay.
I think for constitutional amendments to happen, it's more of a legislature stuff than the executive. It's going to be driven by the legislature and not the executive. And I think just hold on. I think this thing is so complex. Like the last amendment that was done during Buhari's administration, there was a constitutional amendment, and at the end of the day, when you do this amendment too, we need to take it back to the states, state out of House of Assembly, also to veto for them to vote. How do you freedom the National Assembly saying they want what do they call it? The legislature, state of assembly to be on their own, to be independent, and the state legislature who are supposed to favor this are even voting against themselves.
Wow.
I'm trying to give you freedom, and I've brought it to him. Take your freedom, and you are telling me.
Just like the local government in Oyo State, Association of Local Government, that they are saying
like
they want to stick with state, they are not leaving.
No, again, and that's why.
Is that Tinubu's fault again? He's giving them autonomy. Bro, they are saying they don't want to go.
Bro, it is called Stockholm syndrome. It is when you are romancing with your tormentor. And that's what is happening.
Because I don't understand.
Because of what you are gaining from that, because you believe that your tormentor is your Messiah. So anything that will separate you from that, your tormentor, you will kick against. And that's what is happening. There is this woman that freed a lot of women in, a lot of people in US. He said a word. He said, if the slaves had not seen their chain as ornament, she will have freed more. And so it's possible you will see your chain as ornament. So you are not seeing it as a thing of bondage, but as ornament. And somebody that is seeing his chain as bling bling thing, you cannot free that person. And that's what is happening. That's what is happening. Sorry, we can talk this forever.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sola. Thank you for giving me time. Muizz, thank you. I'm sure if I jump into your schedule some other time, you'll find space and time for me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. I will reach out to you to bring you to my channel again to discuss. It's a wrap today on my show and your view, and that's my guest for you today. On my next episode, I'll be bringing some other great minds to discuss some other topics, maybe politics, maybe marriage, maybe career. But believe me, I'll bring people that will be beneficial, people that will share their experience, their insight into whatsoever topic we are discussing. So make sure you share with your friends, like and subscribe so that people can enjoy what you are enjoying and gain some insight as well. So till next time when we'll be meeting again on my show and your view, it's Kenny Oyeniyi, aka OperaKenny, saying bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Mhm.
Bye.
Mhm.